Says this is a random question. Is a housewife a full-time job or a passion project? Someone tried to tell me it was a passion project, but I disagree.
I would disagree too. I'm not a full-time housewife. I work full-time at my job, but if that's all I was able to do, I wouldn't call it a passion project. I think it would be a full-time job, especially if you are properly maintaining your house. And I think that's a biblical thing. You look at, Proverbs 31. The virtuous woman definitely looked well to the ways of her house. So I'm sorry. Any other thoughts? Sorry, Jay, Wendy.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you was going to say something. So we got First Timothy 2:15, where it talks about, like, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now, some people like to say, "Oh yeah, women, just do your job and God will be happy and give you salvation." But I think someone recently gave me a much deeper understanding of this verse, which is, like, we should be grateful to even be here and know that the plan of salvation is being carried out. And we were just talking about the woman, right? And how Christ came through this long lineage that was prophesied. And in that lineage is mother after mother after mother after mother who did the amazing thing of rearing children who continue to the next generation, and we have a chain of righteousness going down through the generations. And it Paul, I think, in this verse is giving some tribute to all the women who have done that, who made that possible. And while we don't venerate and exalt Mary to above human status, we look at her still as a great human to try to model after. She did, the Bible seems to commend her for doing a great job raising Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we go down the list of, again, like, all these amazing other mothers. So I don't know if I don't feel like calling it a job or a passion project. Either one of those is the right way to really classify it. I mean, I think Paul puts it more as almost like a sacred calling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much what it is. So, yeah, that's more what I see.
And I was just going to add that, especially, like Tina, you said, well, you do work full time as well as being a mom. But, imagine if you have multiple children, how much care those children need. And somebody has to provide that. And that is work. That is labor. And that, that's, in fact, there's been a lot of research on this indicating that actually the amount of work that a mother does is significantly more than what people who have a job do. So, yeah, it's beyond a full-time job. You can't even compare it.
Exactly. And it's 24/7 because, if to look well to the ways of your house, I mean, the book of Proverbs is pretty accurate how he described it. It's like she wakes up early and goes to bed late. She's always concerned. She's always thinking. She's always planning ahead. How do I prepare, for my kids to be warm in the winter? And how do I prepare so that they have food? And, it is a lot of work. And so it's not something to be laughed at or brushed aside. No, the work of a mom or housewife in the home, building a home is very, very, very crucial. And it's kind of the heartbeat of the family. So it's not something to scoff at in any way.
Yeah, an entire generation was blessed by Moses because of what his mom did to rear him. I mean, even though he was adopted by the Egyptian princess, his mom was still able to nurse him and raise him, and just during those very critical years, set him on a path to humbleness and leadership that allowed him to lead God's people. And then take Samuel, again, his mom did so much in just a few years to properly get him on the right track, that then he became this great prophet that really blessed his people. There was few prophets on the level of Samuel. So it's just, moms do so much. The consequences can be so big. Just like if a mom does a terrible job raising a kid, you can end up with someone who just becomes a dictator or, causes massive wars and kills tons of people. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.